for tragedies happen, one for the evening. No umbrella can shelter the way I storm on your weekends. I'm not interested or want to form an allegiance. I'm simply captivated on how you more my achievements. One screw away from feeling I'm gonna lose it. So who's to blame if I cultivated a moment? Stupid claims I'm a lunatic and I'm clueless, but you'll rule the day when I'm doing this for amusement. Preparation means opportunity, yes. Being great is ambiguity, yes. Too much at stake for your foolery, this a test. Keep on hating, it's fuel to me, I ain't stressed. You gonna stop me? Well, ain't that so? Ain't nothing gonna stop me from the pain I know. You have no other choice but to watch me reap the flames I grow. You probably think that I'm ungodly, but I ain't that though. But I ain't here to fight fair. I got everything to lose. Cheat codes, I'm flattered, but I don't need those. I ain't playing by the rules. I ain't playing with you. Show you what these hands will do. I ain't playing with you. Keep playing, I'ma show you what these hands will do. We ain't even. They ain't submit while you daydreaming. Came needing to eat, I ain't eating in 8 weeks. And my mouth's watering like I stay teeth. And you can't reason with the animal that's loose and my brain's tweaking. You don't really know me. If you think you do get amnesia, got a problem.
Today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos taking on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Right to the air is Rodgers. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work. And at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. They'll roll him out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
And I think the ball's out, and this will be scooped up by the defense. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson out to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Greg Dulcich, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator?
Oh, yeah.
What he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Taylor now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. New York set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath, first do no harm. And right now they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now the 2nd-year man back from injury. It's Breece Hall. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. From the 25, here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Broncos, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. You look at this Bronco defense. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be taken at the 13. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now Wilson steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 79 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Mara, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 35, here's 2nd down and a yard. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 1st down, Rodgers. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, Charles, a tough task ahead for this defense, trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. What would you be trying to do?
I would think about selective pressure, Brandon, and what I mean by that is he's going to eat you up if you blitz him too often, because he'll read that and go to the man coverage patterns. But every now and then you bring that pressure at him, make him deliver the ball on time. It's when he keeps the ball, maneuvers out of the pocket, and throws deep, that's when you're in big trouble.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. To throw is Rodgers. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On play action, it's Rodgers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Randy Gregory. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
He completes it. They've got a 1st down.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On play action, Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Now it's Rodgers.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. To throw, it's Rodgers.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
Yeah, they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. to touchdown. Here's Marr to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Rodgers going to throw. And he'll find Hall.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have a Jets first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Rodgers now to throw. Wilson's got it complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. On play action. Now Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Back to the ground with Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, a run with Carter. And a short gain down to about the 33. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Here's Rodgers to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I'm talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to run.
He's got it at the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, his big defensive lineman, can he get the ball over him? You get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Rodgers now on first down. Finds Lazard quickly on the slant. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for it.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Wilson, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw it to a target and get that pass away.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way,
he's got a man, complete. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A 24-yard touchdown as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Marr on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Rodgers now on first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Rodgers. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Broncos have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And New York set to take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Yeah, quick throw there is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
There's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Hall up the middle.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all of those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Now Wilson on 2nd down. On the move to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now it's Wilson. Steps away and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jordan Brooks showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Jacoby Brissett leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Kareem Hunt over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. In the first half, the Broncos got some strong play from their veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He had a half for the ages. Touchdown pass after touchdown pass. He threw a month's worth of touchdowns in just those first 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing area.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 67 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this one taken. They'll run with Hall. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. On 1st down, right back to Hall. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. Here's Hall again. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. 2nd and 12. Here's Rodgers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Randy Gregory picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Looking to throw. Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown! Jerry Jeudy, 68 yards. And the Broncos have now opened up a 7-touchdown lead. Unbelievable. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the #1 thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go as we saw there.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who is just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to them.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. A huge play there for Denver. 42 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 5. On the draw, it's Hall. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
There's a nice play by Hall, who was hitting his stride and more, and looking like a franchise back when a torn ACL ended his rookie year at 7 games. We all saw the electricity. We felt it before he went down, though. The expectations very high for the future star here in year 2.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 45 yards. the Broncos get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Marr now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. But it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Hall on a give up the middle. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. A handoff for Hall. Taken down at the 42. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. second down at 6 now from the 42. Looking to throw. Rodgers. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe... And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So winds up a very smart decision to throw the flag. They reset the spot, and now that's a first down. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And check down, complete to Hall. So no gain on the play, and it's second down. Back to throw. Rodgers. There's Hall bringing in another one. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. At their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown Broncos. Jerry Jeudy. 74 yards. And the Broncos are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Now a 2nd and 10. Wilson rolling to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Broncos add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
And that's a sight we feel like we've seen a lot over his career. But remember, for Russell Wilson, 3 in his first year as a Bronco last year and only 15 in the last 8 years. But he still knows how to use those wheels when necessary, and he takes care of business right there.
They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rodgers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Frank Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. This whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense is going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
3rd and 19. Looking to throw. Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Take it at the 37. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their...
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown! Jerry Jeudy halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Broncos extend their lead yet again. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Taylor now from the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Rodgers now on 3rd down. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The New York set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And it's fielded at the 34. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. That punt returns 66 yards, and it goes the distance. And the Broncos are pouring it on. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded right at the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
For the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taylor now from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now Rodgers on 1st down. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Calling a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. This is taken at the 23. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, CD, we are witnessing something that I never thought that I would witness. I would imagine you never thought this, too. I mean, we have a team taking the field in an NFL game, and they are up by triple digits. I mean, 50 is a lot, but to get to over 100, this is just crazy.
We've seen in the history of the game of basketball a few people score 100 points individually, men and women. But we've never seen this before.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 65 yards. And the Broncos have got it on cruise control. Well, Charles, just impressive in all three phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. New York set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. Taylor now from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Marr now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. 2nd down and a yard. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. A short throw to Kohlman, the tight end. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Rodgers going to get this complete to his running back Hall. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Down the left sideline. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Denver, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home.
I can teach you how to get paid, how to get by, and how to get fly. I can teach you how to get cake, if not the whole thing, at least a little slice. Honestly, I'm an immaculate anomaly. I'm an organic organism, ain't no ordinary organs in them. I can't afford any synonymy. That's why my flow is like a cinnamon tsunami with the lemongrass. Ooh, ooh, let me know what you wanna do.